Okay. So let's say, for the sense of poetry, we'll use a boy and a girl. They meet and they're at cotton candy stand at a fair, and they walk up, and life experiences led each of them to want raspberry cotton candy that they could get somewhere else, but now they want a raspberry flavor, but all they have is pink and blue, and so
So you're only allowed to work at the grindstone or paint pictures and be divergent in your thinking. So you have to be convergent or divergent. There's no in between.
No, we can get anything out of this blueprint.
We can?
We have the whole
Anything we want to. All right.
Anything we want can come out of the blueprint.
Yes.
So
we're talking about mixed waves. So a mixed wave is more efficient than two waves.
So you understand the idea of 101 Dalmatians. They're all points of attraction. Dot, dot, dot. So if you can isolate one point of attraction, and then isolate
a particular sine wave, if you will.
Yes. A particular, that when I say definition, what you just called sine wave is what I mean.
Yes.
So let's say the purple cotton candy, and they don't have purple cotton candy. Oh, yeah. So they don't have purple cotton candy. So when they meet the trolley of whatever the purple cotton candy was, they share in common. Now this is going to be an inspired wavelength to then take the air signs, words, and earth sign experiences, fire sign creativity. You got one?
Yes, I do. So what if you were to apply this to Kid A and Kid B?
They like cotton.
They both like the purple cotton candy.
They love the purple cotton candy.
So let's redefine what was trolley. Trolley was a point of attraction that was the punchline.
Yeah, but you can pull it out. It's a high vibrational version.
Now,
the highest vibrational version.
Okay, but the meme is only
the
theme.
The meme is as it shows up.
Okay. Oh, the meme is what it looks like to you. Okay. And so a virus would be something that would, if you will, accidentally go through, would actually penetrate all of our different meme perceptions, if you will.
Mm-hmm. So it would be a dissident point. So you yourself are perfect. I've established that.
So how does something like that get through to everybody? Remember, I was suggesting that in the movie Borat, no, in the movie Borat, each of the different groups got portrayed the way that they would want to be portrayed, because I suspected that say the Muslims would want to portray themselves as a parody of the way that Americans portray them, because Americans are silly, and then of course the Americans, or the Christians, if you will, got to be portrayed as these really strong-willed individuals who wouldn't give way to anything, and then the Jews got to be portrayed as these kindly people who.
Okay, cool. So would you say labels?
So everybody won.
Labels.
That virus.
Labels is your definition.
Yes.
Okay, so you have a point of attraction for the Arabs, one for the Jews, one for the Muslims, and for me, all of those are the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, they don't really.
Well, we were suggesting last night in our discussion that the Proto-Indo-European mystery religion was the source for all of the major religions that we have today.
Okay.
And we suggested that originated with astrology.
Mm-hmm. But the ability to think, consciousness being projected through a body, happened before anybody decided to be creative and put it back together.
Huh. Well, why would it need to be put back together? Because it was meant to be together, right? Because we have thousands of years worth of ancient knowledge in several different books, but the information has been scattered across the different books, so that you have to become a permanent scholar in in order to figure out what was going on, right?
So like,
But
Einstein.
one thing they always need is dark and light, and then the next thing they always need after dark and light is priesthoods.
Okay, so
So you
dark,
have
dark is repressing
Yeah.
on the light.
So you essentially have like your Jedi versus Sith kind of things. Yoda's being actual historical teachers back in the day. Um, and some people, let's say some people go through the training, but they decide to use it for the wrong thing. We call them Sith, if you will.
Sith?
Yes. Or like Darth Vader.
Did you understand the one song I made for Purifier? So like, if you hit a discordant point, you're the only one who feel the fire within you, and you're supposed to be unconditional. So that's a party. So it really is a purification. Anytime you listen to that song now, you can analyze your own thoughts for what shouldn't be there.
Actually, now that you mention it, a lot of people are going to think that we are insane and that this is nonsense. So what attracts us to the point in which we believe that we are intelligent by talking about this?
We believe in love. We believe in relationship, and all those kind of things. I knew that. I know everybody who understands that to some certain
So
degree.
we're operating under different memes, but then you're then saying that memes are cultural lenses.
Well, I know the power of your own generation between a relationship, your own speed.
Or is it possible that cultures were formed geographically because of these kind of energies that we talk about in astrology? And we could say that people in Asia were a little bit more Libra-ish. People in the United States were more Cancerish because we go with the themes of Cancer in the United States.
So we can redraw the map and call Iraq the assholes. We can call us the bigots.
Yeah.
And then, so from there, you have to find where you want to live.
And then Europe could be more of, say, an Aquarius kind of thing, based on the European Union kind of thing, right?
Order. Maybe European Union would be order.
Order. But then
I would say it's more Capricorn.
Capricorn. Okay. That sounds cool.
So then, once you start to assign these, did you say you don't live in America anymore?
Okay.
Just your definitions.
All right, but then, like, how many people do you think are doing what we do, and are we doing what all of the Sun Orders and Solar Brotherhood organizations are doing? And in that case, how many of them
Let's say we're
how many of them are in every possible
we hit
organization?
here, we hit here, we hit here, but we're on a destined path. Now, it's my position that everybody who said things about all these words was always wrong compared to me. And I believe that so much that any relationship can upsert anything that they do.
Okay, so you're saying that that whatever god would be stronger would not have to infiltrate using people, but instead would just have to carry the most fear. So, in other words,
you're calling fear love.
We could have Google and Yahoo and AOL and Paramount and Viacom and whoever we suspect is owned by the Catholics and the Freemasons to really just be essentially a vibration
Okay, so we're gonna make two
of
cities.
our meme
Okay, on
projecting
this side,
with the fear
you
that
say
we perceive.
fear.
Yes.
Let's stop using the word fear and use the word paradox.
Yeah.
Can you do that? So
Yes.
say that whole line again.
Okay.
Now add paradox.
Okay. At paradox. Okay. How could it be that all of these corporations that we suspect are owned by the Catholic Church or the Freemasons, and also governments too, how could they all be creating a god that was so powerful as to create fear within all of them, and yet not have individuals infiltrating that? So we're talking e pluribus unum. We're talking about a plural unity, or a plurality, if you will.
So this is the plural unity. We can go any way we want with it. We can
And you could
unify
still
for it, or
you could still have direct oppositions that were still that we're still in sync with the whole of the object,
Mm-hmm.
the global object.
Actually, you are in whole through your parents.
So,
You are already weaved into the matrix of what the vibrational.
okay,
attractions
let's
were
say
put
I'm at
together.
let's say I'm at the command center. I'm at the controls, and I can impose a global objective value across the entire system.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was a virus, it would be something that would cause the system to collapse, meaning that
Can you say if
people,
it was romance?
that people would have their cultural lenses penetrated
Yes.
because it was just so silly from anybody's perspective to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do it with the concepts of dominance and submission, because dominance and submission is universal only as long as people are convinced that there are like male and female
let's
gender
try
roles and so on and so forth.
Let's instead
Male and female gender
instead of dominance, use the word inertia.
Is there an inertia between male and female?
If there, yes, we signed up to be boys, and they signed up to bear children.
Okay. Wow, that would seem quite harsh to a great deal of the feminists out there, but oh well.
They live in Bigot.
Good grief. I don't know what to say to that, but that's true from our point of view, if you will. We're talking about the feminists, though.
Well,
Or are we talking about radical feminists?
we're talking about Chris's relationship to the feminist and Andrew's relationship to the feminist, which might show up in different proportions. To me, Pisces is a sign about running away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I would and dissolving. When you say feminist, it glosses over. For you, it might show up somewhere else on you.
All right, a radical feminist would be a boy basher who suggests that we should prepare for female rule, and the current system is male rule.
Mail order?
Male rule, R-U-L-E, because the system of systems and all of the systems beneath it tend to be male oriented, meaning dominance oriented.
Inertia.
But which came first?
How about penis oriented?
Which came first, the dominance or the penis?
No. As opposed to circles and lines. Circles would be receptive. So you think.
Oh, wait a minute.
as
How about we go
receptive.
back to Venus and Mars? So let's say Venus was the implicit, where you have to babble on to get the meaning, and then Mars is the explicit,
The
where
implicit
you
would be
be short.
Mercury.
What?
The implicit would be Mercury.
But then what's Mars?
Raw passion.
Actually, I know what you mean, but I think Mercury is pure intellect, whereas a Mars conjunct
Mars is
Mercury,
the initiator.
a Mars conjunct Mercury would be a very extremely short with other people, straightforward kind of way of saying things.
Because they want to get things done. They don't want to hear it.
So, is this where we get our idea that females tend to be more emotional, whereas males tend to be more action-oriented?
Yes.
So, you could also say that in South Korea, where they have a more male-oriented thought pattern, they would say, well, it doesn't do good to comfort and counsel people.
Okay, so
You have to do something in order to make that person feel better. Whereas in America, we're like, oh, we just send them to counseling and special training so that they learn how to organize their own thoughts.
So can we say the Republicans, in what they're searching for, is the penis party, and the Democrats, the vagina party?
But they want to do nothing. They want to stay out of things. They want to privatize things. Isn't that true? The Republicans.
Well, they don't know what they're talking about. But they have before, when they're searching for the Holy Grail, they're searching for penis power.
Mhm.
Kundalini,
Yeah.
whatever, virility. They're searching for virility. And the Democrats are searching for receptivity,
But
and
why-
comfort.
But why is it good for the Republicans to set up counseling centers for the poor instead of giving welfare to the poor?
I don't know.
No,
But
no, no.
we could
we're
ignore
still
all
going-
their rules and just call them the penis party and the vagina party, and then we can work with that. And then we show up at their meetings and call them that, and then they'll start
I see what you're saying. So it's almost like a Pluto versus Venus kind
Well, what is in between Venus and Mars?
of thing.
Earth,
Yes.
the moon.
So E, which explains why they like to use the word E in the name of so many companies, so as to make it seem down to earth.
Because remember, Icarus tried to fly
Insurance.
towards the sun.
Yes.
Hermes is the winged messenger, and Venus is the Aphrodite.
Yes.
So Aphrodite, knowledge, the core.
Mhm.
Mom always told me not to look into the eyes of the sun. Then the Democrats are about relating themselves to the galactic. I would say Democrats, even though they call themselves
Okay.
atheists,
How do
vagina people are looking at the universe.
how do penises trick vaginas?
They don't.
Actually, I think
Communication breakdown.
I think penises have very short definitions about how vaginas work.
Well, some people can go both sides of the parties.
Mhm.
So I can. I circle the universe around. I guess that's libertarians. Us Ron Paul people.
Well,
What do you mean they trick? They have a shared point of attraction.
All right,
Of opposition.
I'm saying, why does it seem as if the guy is always dominant and say abusive in the relationship? Like,
Because the penis is inertia.
say this again.
The penis is inertia. Vagina
Yes.
is receptive, energy yin yang.
I'm thinking it's a little bit more complex than that. I'm suggesting that
Okay.
the male energy reads the patterns, while the female energy is the patterns. But
Okay,
but the
I
male
like that.
male energy pretends that it's not in the patterns and just reads function of A, function of B, function of C.
Yeah. And
which-
it tries to put the game together.
between point A, point B, point C, point D, etc. Yeah, it puts the patterns together. So that would be
Yes, towards Jupiter. So that's why. So the search for the Holy Grail, I want to know all these answers, is right after Mars. And then
Yeah.
that's when you get the Saturn, the strict discipline, monkism. And then when you go further, you get to Uranus and you start to see the whole solar system.
so it could give men sex to trick a woman, but it
No!
wouldn't
Don't
but it
use
wouldn't
the
give
word
them the
trick.
essence.
You're bad and you'll go to jail.
give. Okay.
And you deserve to go to jail if you use the word trick.
Okay.
Now, you can have tricks from within. And then see what. So if you call each point of attraction a trick,
I'm not suggesting actually tricking anyone. I'm not suggesting rape. That would be
you have rape on the same vibrational wavelength as you have trick.
uh-huh.
And blame the fathers of the Catholic Church for that. That's blame. Get rid of the definition altogether. Don't use trick in that. Don't use lure. Don't use interrogate.
Okay, how
Those
about
are
binaural?
ways.
How about binaural? So in other words, when you combine two particular vibrations, they make a combined frequency which is stronger than either of the two apart.
Yeah. And so if you associate a whole group of people on one wavelength, now you have a power one.
Okay, so it's almost like
Short-term memory.
it's almost like you're locked on to a particular frequency. Once
And then whatever.
once a woman and man are in a relationship, they're locked into it. The
They're not locked into it.
The man
They're locked
analyzes,
in, but they're not locked in.
the man analyzes the relationships between the feelings, and the woman provides the feelings for the man. Does that make sense?
Kinda. I like the idea of receptivity. Female and feminine energy is receptive.
So the man, okay, let's think
creative.
in terms of Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ voluntarily empties himself of his powers. I think it might be saying that a man voluntarily empties himself of his ability to feel emotions as the female does.
No.
So that he can analyze the relationships between the emotions that are
Well,
going
there
on.
is in the Gospel
And
of
therefore
Thomas,
control the
Gospel
relationship.
of Doubting Thomas, a female must be made male to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Well, we're talking a very specific case.
So being made male is
Christianity.
going out to the universe. Do we want to leave that very specific case in our life,
Or
do we want to generalize?
We're suggesting that his spirit enters her, she becomes a duplicate of him, except with a female body. So she becomes a duplicate of his
The Gemini
intentions.
twin.
And
From the Sagittarian adventures.
Yes.
So Sagittarius is about the dots, connecting the dots.
Yes.
Sagittarius connecting
And
the
so
dots.
then when the two are linked, she becomes as dominant as him, which is why she, as a teacher in a school, for example, would prey upon the younger males.
No, you just use very bad words. You put the woman in work where she belongs, like a good housewife, or in the class. You put the woman in the class.
She needs to make sure
and
that
then you use another bad word after
she
that.
needs to make sure that those children are disciplined or medicated.
No, more bad words.
Yes. Yes.
Get rid of all of those. Never speak any more of these words when you're out in public anymore.
We're talking about a case within a case within a case.
Okay.
So we're saying American culture, then Christianity, then
Okay,
Catholicism.
stop that and make another one.